of surface warriors have helped keep this country free. From the war for independence to the war on terrorism, history is replete with the stories of their contributions, which have enabled surface naval forces to effectively defend the cause of freedom. Each year, the Surface Navy Association honors some of the individuals who have made an exceptionally significant contribution to the Continental Navy, U.S. Surface Navy, or to surface Navy warfare as a member of the armed forces or as a civilian. SNA is proud to introduce the following individuals as our newest inductees in the Surface Warfare Hall of Fame. May 17, 1987, the Persian Gulf. The USS Stark is struck by two air-to-surface missiles from an Iraqi jet. Seaman Mark R. Cowett sustained severe burns, shrapnel wounds, and the loss of one leg. Yet without hesitation, he courageously continues to set material condition zebra, taking actions to control the spread of fires which had consumed the ship's control berthing, post office, combat information center, and adjacent spaces. Seaman Cowett eventually succumbs to the fires, which burned for almost 24 hours. He selflessly gives his life in the line of duty for the survivability of his ship and shipmates. A total of 37 sailors are killed and 21 are wounded in the attack, but it could have been much worse. Cowett saved the lives of his shipmates through his brave actions and loyal devotion to duty in the face of great personal risk, thereby reflecting great credit upon himself and upholding the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. Seaman Cowett is posthumously awarded the Navy and Marine Corps Medal and the Purple Heart. (1794), Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Shortly after Congress passes the Act to provide a naval armament, American shipbuilder and naval architect Joshua Humphreys is commissioned to design 6 frigates for the newly formed United States Navy. He is tasked to design ships that are powerful enough to engage frigates of the French or British navies, yet fast enough to evade any ship of the line. Humphreys designs frigates that are longer and broader than usual, able to equal the speed of any fighting ship, and have better maneuverability and more guns. The frigate United States is the first to be constructed and is launched on May 10, 1797. The Constitution, Chesapeake, Constellation, President, and Congress followed. This new fleet forms the core of the Navy during the War of 1812, scoring several victories against British ships. Humphreys' skill is evident by the fact that one of these ships, the Constitution, also known as Old Ironsides, is still afloat. For his contributions to our Navy, the Naval Sea Systems Command Headquarters building in the Washington Navy Yard, and 2 ships are named in his honor. April 1909, the Arctic. Rear Admiral Edwin Peary leads an expedition to the North Pole. His Arctic quest begins 23 years earlier as he leads numerous expeditions. He explores Greenland by dog sled in 1886 and 1891, finding evidence that it is an island. Later, he returns there to transport large meteorites to the United States. After announcing his intention to reach the North Pole, he makes his first attempt in 1898. After 4 years, he reaches a point that is 343 miles short. For his next attempt in 1906, he sails on the Roosevelt, a sturdy ship built to his design, and sleds to within 175 miles of the pole. On April 6, 1909, accompanied by Matthew Henson and 4 Eskimos, he reaches what they believe to be the pole and becomes widely acknowledged as the first explorer to attain that goal. Examination of Peary's expedition diary and new documents in the 1980s suggest that the point he reached may have been approximately 30 to 60 miles short of the pole. Still, Peary achieves a feat that no other human in his time achieved and exemplifies courage, integrity, and inflexible determination. May 11, 1915, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Admiral William S. Benson is appointed the first Chief of Naval Operations. Prior to his appointment, Benson graduates with the United States Naval Academy class of 1877, then serves aboard USS Yantic as part of the Greeley Relief Expedition in 1883. He also serves aboard Hartford, Essex, Constitution, Alliance, and Iowa, then commands Albany and the battleships Missouri and Utah. As CNO, Admiral Benson organizes and centralizes the Navy's administration prior to World War I, then continues as war breaks out, where he is responsible for the direction of overall combat operations. Benson enables fleet readiness and wartime expansion through Navy Yard improvements, development of naval aviation, and support from U.S. industries as well as scientific and inventive talent for the development of naval technology. He is the principal naval advisor at the Armistice in 1919, where he defended American interest in reference to freedom of the seas and fleet expansion. Through his achievements, Admiral Benson establishes the Office of CNO as a viable entity that links fleet operations and its material preparation. September 15, 1967, Mekong Delta, Vietnam. As Commander River Assault Squadron 11, Lieutenant Commander Francis Rhodes Jr. is in charge of 23 riverine assault craft, transporting Army infantry units on the Rock-by-Rai River. During search and destroy operations, the entire task group comes under heavy fire from fortified Viet Cong bunkers on both banks of the river. Exposing himself to direct enemy fire, Rhodes quickly assesses the situation and orders his units to regroup and return downstream out of the enemy's fortified area. After transferring casualties and reassigning personnel so that all boats were manned, Rhodes led his task group back up the river. Hard hit for a second time, the group sustains a large number of casualties, yet successfully lands Army units ashore in the assigned objective area and set up a naval blockade of the river. He earns a Navy Cross for this action, which contributes to the defeat of over 213 Viet Cong, the destruction of 600 bunkers, and capture of a large quantity of war munitions. He also receives an Army Silver Star for his valiant role in a rescue operation earlier that year. December 19, 1941, U.S. Naval Academy. At the beginning of World War II, and just 12 days after his father is killed during the attack on Pearl Harbor, Isaac C. Kidd Jr. is commissioned in the Navy. Assigned to destroyer USS Cowie, he participates in the invasions of North Africa, Sicily, and Italy. He then transfers to the Pacific and is assigned as commissioning gunnery officer of destroyer Putnam during actions at Saipan, Tinian, Leyte Gulf, and Okinawa campaigns. He earns the Bronze Star for his prowess in combat during these events. Continuing to serve after the war, the newly commissioned destroyer USS Barry is his first command. For 15 years, he commands destroyers, destroyer divisions, and squadrons, as well as 3 U.S. fleets in the Atlantic, Pacific, and Mediterranean. He also serves in key leadership positions, including aide to the CNO, where he assists in efforts to avert the Cuban Missile Crisis and other conflicts during the 1960s. Admiral Kidd's final assignment is Commander-in-Chief of the U.S. Atlantic Fleet and Supreme Allied Commander, NATO Atlantic Fleet. He retires in 1978 after a 40-year Navy career. Courage, vision, commitment to mission. Common traits among uncommon individuals who have earned history's respect and who honor us all by their distinction as surface Navy warriors. SNA is proud to add these 6 outstanding individuals to the already 125 members of the Surface Navy Warfare Hall of Fame.